Michigan does not have to defend their championship this year. However, Michigan just won a national championship, and that leads me to yesterday because Michigan had their spring game, and I did not get what I expected. I did not. It's my fault. It's my fault because I haven't paid enough attention to the Michigan quarterback room this spring. I've paid attention to what I thought, and that's a dangerous thing. That's a dangerous thing in spring. Alex Orji, I have assumed, was going to be the starting quarterback up there. And you know what? If I had to pencil in the depth chart today, I'd probably still put QB1 next to his name. But Davis Warren looked like he was the starting quarterback of this team yesterday. That's one man's opinion from watching a Michigan spring game. I think the fan base, while you guys have followed this a lot more closely, I think the fan base also, after watching the game yesterday, not ready to call quarterback controversy because, again, we don't believe in that. But this thing is a much more wide open competition, at least, than people like me thought it was. Again, maybe that was my ignorance to the situation, and I haven't been paying enough attention to it. My best read on this thing is Alex Orji is the current QB1 of that team. I don't think there is one. J.J. McCarthy walks out the door. No one's taken that job yet. No one's taken that job. I don't think this is one of those illusionary quarterback battles where the coaching staff just tries to maintain that illusion so neither guy transfers. I think quite the opposite. This feels like the kind of recipe where it's a season where multiple games feature multiple quarterbacks playing. It's not a bad thing either if you got guys with different skill sets. I mean, Alex Orji is sort of one of one when it comes to certain things he can do athletically. Having said that, if you're the kind of team that has like a Donovan Edwards in the backfield and you have the kind of defense they have, do I really want to, and this is open-ended because we got a long way to go, but I'm thinking as a Michigan fan, like if I'm watching this situation, do I want to have the guy who seems a little bit more firmly in grasp of the offense, making better decisions? Or do I want to see a guy who struggles somewhat with accuracy and decision-making, but he's a great athlete? Because what that tells me, what that indicates to me is wild fluctuations in potential outcome of games. I want to get as much of that volatility out of the equation as possible. And so I am now completely and utterly fascinated with how Sharon Moore and his offensive staff will handle this quarterback situation. Completely fascinated by it. Fred Moore popped off the screen to me. Michigan, I did not realize this either. Michigan lost 5 wide receivers who were 6 foot or taller. 5 scholarship receivers, 6 foot or taller off last year's team. And Moore 6'1", but he's got really, really good speed. They could add multiple wide receivers here if the situation's right. I think Michigan they're definitely in the market. There's no thinking. They're in the market for receiver help. There is a toughness, though, man, that wasn't going to disappear overnight, and I don't think it's going to disappear at all. It's Michigan football. But it's always something that no matter how many guys walk out the door, no matter how many guys go to the NFL draft, there is a way that they play that it makes it very tough for me to discount them. And I'm certainly not discounting the fact that they could contend for the Big Ten championship again this year. I'm just saying, even if I get to a point like second week of August or second week of the season, and they're not looking nearly like they did last year. Number one, it's a developmental game. Number two, it's a brand new staff. And number three, that's the kind of team that can sort of scale their own production during the season. That quarterback situation, though, let's just see. Let's see how that works out. In the words of Richard Marx, I should have known better, but I didn't. Never assume. Don't be the guy saying I told you so after spring games. Great advice from me, Mom.